I know I just addressed the video with everything going on in the situation and everything to do with me from before, but I feel like this is really important to address as soon as possible, as another YouTuber is going around spreading lies. May not all be entirely lies, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but there's a lot of things you should know about the YouTuber GiantSnowball. Bear in mind you will see screenshots consisting of another user called Sinister. That as well is GiantSnowball. Sinister and GiantSnowball in this case are the same person. I believe Snowball also has a Roblox channel along the right lines of Sinister. I can't find it, but yeah, Sinister is Snowball, so please bear that in mind through this video. And again, this video is not scripted as I'm trying to get this out as soon as possible with all the information I got, so please bear with me. I'm gonna try keeping other users anonymous involved because I don't want them to get any crap or anything. I don't want Snowball to go after them because that's what he's been doing, threatening people that he'll make an exposed video or whatever, which I don't think is appropriate at all. In this screenshot, I can't really see the tweet, so I can't really specify or clarify anything on that. But Snowball goes up to this person, blank, did you know about this? Sharing a screenshot, I'm assuming it's about me quote-unquote telling people that Snowball was a groomer defender, which, no, he's not. I don't believe I've ever said that. And then he goes off threatening this person. I'm going to make a video on your ass. You, Hyper, and Miles, you fucking piece of shit. First off, that's not how you approach someone. You don't call anyone a piece of shit. That's not right. You don't say that to someone, and you don't threaten them if you're trying to have civil conversation. That's just wrong. Back in 2023 of summer, when the whole markers thing was going on with a bunch of YouTubers, I won't try to name anyone, but we had a friend group in there, and it consisted of me, Hyper was there, and Snowball was there. And Snowball and Hyper, they've always had disagreements, I believe. I don't know the full, thing behind each other. I know that they were never friends. I know that they haven't, seen eye to eye. But the stuff Snowball did in that group chat, such as harassment or quote-unquote, in his words, trolling, was never okay. Minecraft was the one thing we all mainly used to play, and another controversial YouTuber by the name of WinterBFDIA, I believe, Snowball would constantly change me and Hyper's sign to be the name of WinterBFB, poking at us, or quote-unquote, in his words, trolling, which still falls under the term of harassment, which I'll put on screen now. Basically, trolls will persistently harass the targets, especially if they're known to, try striking a nerve, or try to, upset something, and that's what Snowball was doing to Hyper that entire GC, and that is the reason why he eventually got kicked out of it. Other people in the GC also took note of Snowball's direct attacks towards Hyper, always constantly hating on him. Whether it be small, it's still considered harassment if he's going out of his way to troll and say harsh comments about Hyper like this. And when we'd play Minecraft, he would build not okay parts on our builds when we were playing. Later on, after he was kicked from the GC, he started unfriending everyone. It wasn't Hyper or I who told people to unfriend him. It was him unfriending and blocking others, and I will show screenshots of my concern and other people's concern with him unfriending people, because we didn't know why he'd go out of his way to unfriend people, because no one said anything harsh about him. It was just Hyper and Snowball that had dilemmas, but everybody minded their business about it because people still cared about Snowball. I'm not going to keep talking about anything with Hyper and Snowball or anything alongside the harassment he's already done. I'm going to move on to more of the heavy topics with all of this, so fair warning, there's a lot to be said here, and I don't know if this will trigger anyone here. So, yeah, I will now show and explain what's being said in these screenshots. What I'm showing now is a conversation between Snowball and another person in the GC, which will be kept anonymous. Everyone will be kept anonymous. Snowball was being hostile and aggressive towards said person, and even threatening them and saying weird stuff about Hyper, which I will now show. The first screenshot I already shown earlier in the video, but then it goes on to be said person saying, "Hold on, I just saw this." Snowball saying, "This is war, bro. Said person saying, me? What did I do, bro? I'm not with those two. Snowball saying, clearly y'all in the GC went along with the allegations. You cut off Odyssey without even asking his side. Said person said, I didn't hear him say this to me at all, bro. Snowball saying, all you could is dumb her up and up was a sorry ass. I hope you're doing okay. You're just like Hyper. Said person goes on, dude, what is your problem? Why are you going after me? At least I said something to that guy. There is every other person in that group chat to attack too. Snowball saying, you're a fake fucker. You allowed Hyper to fuck over Odyssey. You blank blank, literally any of you could have standed up for him. At least asked for his side, but none of you did. And then I find out Miles is shit talking about me to people like Fast Duck. That girl. That already makes me mad because that's transphobic. I'm a dude. I'm a trans dude. He knows I'm transgender and he still labels me as a girl. That is not nice. That's not nice. Then said person says, Snowball, can we please take a step back for a minute so I can calmly talk about this instead of such a shaky way? That's my biggest request now, please understand. Better be a good fucking excuse. You have no idea how much shit I went through thanks to Hyper and Miles. He's spreading lies. We didn't do anything directly to him. That's on other people if they decided to take action with Snowball. We didn't try to manipulate anyone into doing anything. We didn't care who contacted Snowball. Otherwise, I wouldn't have talking the leans. If Snowball really thinks that I wanted people to cut him off, I would not be talking to a lot of, or had been talking to a lot of the OSC YouTubers that I was. I did not care who was associated with Snowball. I've always wanted to find common ground with the dude. Anyways, sorry. Going along, he says, and presumably you and the others. Only difference between y'all and Hyper is y'all were smart enough to distance yourself from Hyper when public opinion switched and supported Odyssey. I sincerely hope the worst for you and everyone in that GC. Also a threat. That's not okay. Whatever, I'm going to block you. Have fun being in my new video. Also threatening. That's also a threat. And said person is, sorry, wait, I'm writing a response. Please give me a second. I'm not going to show the rest of the conversation because looking through it, it looked like it should stay private because of what the other person stated, and I do not want that to be public information. But then Snowball says this, which I'm not going to read some of it. First two sentences, you admit being a fake bitch. I'm not going to read that out. And no, the first human reaction would be asking Odyssey for his side. Only pathetic little worms like you and others would at least try to hear the other side. Well, on the bright side, at least Okenku won't have competition. Well, I'ma tell him about this. Also threatening said person again. It's one thing to be upset at someone, but it doesn't make it okay to go out of your way and threaten that person just because they made a misjudgment. That's not something you should be threatening them about. That's not okay. Not to mention Snowball being racist. Here you can see in this conversation someone saying, maybe just say you're black or something. Snowball saying, I ain't gonna lie, they know I'm not black. Said person saying, oh, alright, if you do get exposed, just apologize. Then he says, no, that would be even worse. Nobody would even forgive me. Said person saying, I forgive you. Then Snowball saying, I mean in the OSC, saying that word is like basically committing genocide. My plan is to create a new channel that doesn't use my voice, like text-to-speech or something, or just text. So be mindful as Snowball is probably gonna run away from this, that you be careful not to support any other upcoming channel that he comes up with. I'm not gonna read any of the following out loud, so please pause the read or read what's on screen. In this screenshot, he basically implies that he said the N-word, saying that it'd quote-unquote be funny to use. I absolutely have no clue if this is the full extent of what Snowball has done. This is just what I was provided, and I wanted to make a video as soon as possible because he keeps threatening other people, and I'm absolutely not okay with that, especially if it's people I know and care about. I don't want anyone to be attacked the way he's been attacking and saying these things to people, and it's not appropriate that he's out of his way saying disgusting things about Hyper 2. That's disgusting. If you have been affected by Snowball and his behavior, please do share your story in the comments or share a community post or something letting people know, because what he's been doing and what he's been hiding is absolutely not okay at all, and I feel like this really has to be addressed. Thank you for listening. Sorry that this came up as soon as I already addressed another video. Please go look at that. And that's it. Again, don't harass anyone in this video and do not try to figure out who is who in any of these screenshots. Thank you.